Teresa Palmer was, I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. She was in this film as the boobs and the small waist. Like, there was no other reason for her being in this film. There was no emotional connection between her and Johnny Utah like there was with Tyler in the original film. There was no, like, she slightly furthers the narrative in the conversation that she has with Johnny, where she basically tells him that Bodhi was on the boat with Ozaki when Ozaki died, doing his ordeal or doing his give back for the third ordeal. But to
be honest, you could have cut her and had Edgar Ramirez tell him about that.
Yeah.
Like anyone could have
Or he could have just found the article online.
Yeah, anyone
Do you know what I mean?
Him, yeah.
So she was just a bit of a nothing character. And also, like, you're never quite you're never really quite sure where she stands, you know? So this is the thing about having like very one-dimensional female characters in movies that are purely there to serve the sort of, I don't know, satiate the sexual, what's it called? Like
male gaze,
but no, what am I trying to say? It's that brain fog. Like coquette, like croquette.
Femme fatale kind of.
No, like, it'll come to me later. Okay. But basically, like, there was no substance to her. That character does not exist on a plane of its own.
Well, she was in the film to get shot by Johnny Utah.
No, but like that's the thing. Was she? Because they didn't have a strong enough. Like he was super mad about that, sure, but like he was already
got over it very quickly.
Well, yeah, and he was already going for Bodhi at that point. It wasn't like a turning point where for his character where he was like, "Fuck this! I've just lost the woman that I love. I'm no longer torn as to whether I want to be with the FBI or with Bodhi. Like I know who I am now." There was no moment of that because their bond wasn't strong enough. Essentially, they had a few pretty like, I don't know, superficial conversations, sex on a fur rug in some sort of Nordic spa on a boat or something. Yeah. And then what? He thought that it was Bodhi and he shot her.
Well, to give context, should we talk about Tyler from the original? Because I feel bad talking about like a remake of a film. It's always difficult because you want to judge a film on its own merits and not compare it to, you know, another film, right?
Yeah.
Because it should stand on its own. But it's also very difficult when a film is, you know, literally remaking another film to not compare it to the original film. And so Laurie Petty's character, Tyler, in the original Point Break, I mean, maybe this is the influence of having Catherine Bigelow, a female director, on the film. You know, her character is much more fleshed out. But she's in it as she knows Bodhi. She's kind of slept with Bodhi before, and they're kind of like, they're not together. And you know, she's friends with all of them. But she doesn't know. Does she know what they do? I don't think she knows that.
No, she doesn't.
Robbers. She doesn't know what they're bank robbers. She meets Keanu Reeves at the start of when Keanu Reeves first starts surfing. She pulls him out of the water because he
wipes out. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Doesn't know what he's doing, and she says, "You're an idiot. Basically, you can't be surfing like that." And then he convinces her to teach him how to surf. And in doing that, they become very close, and that starts the romance there. And then it culminates in Bodhi using her at the end to get to Johnny. He essentially kidnaps her at the end.
Well, he does, doesn't he? Yeah, he kidnaps her. He holds her at gunpoint.
Holds her at gunpoint and kidnaps her at the end. And that's the... And there's also the moment in that film where she finds out that he's an FBI agent.
She holds him at gunpoint.
And she's very angry about it.
Yeah.
Because she feels used, etc. There's more.
Did your parents even die? Is that what she says?
Yeah,
she has that great fucking scene. Yeah. She's a character. She's a great character. She is a big part of, the plot of that film.
So the first time Johnny Utah meets Samsara, it means nature.
She's on the boat.
She's
like, the ocean just like make you feel so small, or like nature has a way of making you feel. So like she has one of those dippy shit moments. And then she's just like, ha, jumps into the water. No. They don't. She jumps into the water and goes and holds a rock, goes in an underground cave. I'm just going to put it out there. This is something that I do in films when there is an underwater like free diving scene like this. I will hold my breath and I will see how realistic it is. Do you know what? It's not. No. It's not real. I've got excellent breath control. It's not realistic. Not only that, but they are properly swimming and holding these very heavy rocks. Man would have died. Man's not alive. Nah. So that was stupid. And then they come to the surface and they're both just like, and then like party together or whatever. And they don't have sex that time. They have sex like at the second boat party or something. And then...
But the point is, like in the original...
And then she also owns a chateau in France and is like rock climbing and making the lovely meal. And
then it comes, and then the how he shoots her is at one point they're robbing this tiny bank on a mountain. I can't remember why. And
because they catch the sponsor. They like arrest the sponsor so that Bodhi and his guys don't have any more income to complete the Ozaki 8. And so to do that, they have to rob a bank. And they choose to rob the one that the FBI are like, you'd be mad to rob this bank. There's one road leading down the mountain and that's it. And obviously that's the one that Bodhi goes for.
And they shoot an incredible amount of police officers. And then Johnny Utah gives chase to this girl.
Well, to what he thinks is Bodhi. To what he thinks is
Bodhi because she's in like a motorbike helmet and
which I'm just saying, there was a huge focus on the size of Teresa Palmer's chest in this film. There was a lot of close-up shots of her breast.
Suddenly gone.
And then apparently it's just not there when she's wearing her leathers for the bike riding.
He's seen them before.
That's what I'm saying, isn't it? Like, I don't get it. Surely he would have been like, Bodhi's cutting a nice shape in this bike suit.
And then she tries to shoot him. So before she can, he shoots her. And then he takes off her helmet and realizes it's her. And then it cuts to a shot of the
how gutted would you be also?
And he looks sad.
He looks sad, but also I'm just saying, like, look, if I was cracking on with someone and we'd had a great night in a Nordic spa of a boat and then they tried to shoot me, I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's what
that's not cool. Yeah, what the hell? But he was like, yeah, makes sense. I'm really sad.